Hello guys and welcome back to another video. So today I am going to be reacting to my National League South predictions that I made back in July, from 22nd up to 1st. I am going to do it and I'll react how I was wrong by and why I said it and what actually happened. So yeah, let's enjoy the video. Let's see how good or bad I've done. So in 22nd I'd gone with Concord Rangers, and they actually finished in 16th, which is 6 places above where I predicted them, which is is not bad, but kind of a bit way off. Now the reason why I put them bottom is because that year before they got in the playoffs and they wouldn't allow in it because they were banned because their ground wasn't good enough, which I can see why. It's an absolute dump, Thames Road is, but I thought that they would be struggled to sign players just because they can't get promoted, and I just thought it would be really tough for them. And they signed a lot of Haringey players because obviously the manager left to go to Hamlet, and they didn't do that bad, but not as good as they'd done before. 22nd, the last game we played against them was before lockdown. It was Concord, which was a 3-3 draw. But yeah, it was a bit of a bad one. Let's move on to now 21st. In 21st place, I'd sadly gone for my team, Hungerford Angels, and we finished 15th in points per game. I'm sorry about that, but you know, I just didn't think we were ready. I just thought, you know, it was going to be really tough, and some of the squads in this league look absolutely frightening, and I do apologise. The players proved me wrong and everybody else in this league wrong. And all the other 21 teams in this league probably tipped us to finish bottom with no points. But yeah, I do apologise. We improved a lot and we did so well. And I'm so proud of the players for making it possible for us to stay up. We would have stayed up even if we did finish in the bottom because null and void below. But we did so well. We only lost one game in 2020, which again a lot of you will say, oh, it's because you didn't play any home games and stuff like that, but on average we're the 15th best team in the league, and you know, we've done very well, and yeah, I'm looking forward to next season. So yeah, let's move on to 20th. In 20th place I'd gone with Hungerford Town, who finished bottom in the end in 22nd, 2 places out, and I just thought initially that they were going to be the Morecambe of this league, just try and grind out results and stay up, and they've done that the last couple of years, and I thought that would be the same, and they had an absolute terrible season, finished bottom. They were a long way off, but to be honest, when we played them, the 1-1 draw, they didn't look like a bottom place team at all. They were quite good, so it's quite surprising they're that far down. They were lucky, obviously, league below voided, but at least I can actually tick off their ground, because I was quite upset when their game got called off and I didn't think I'd get a chance to visit their ground because I didn't think we'd ever play them again. But yeah, I'm looking forward to going there next season, if it's on and it's not on a Tuesday night or anything like that. But yeah, not bad with that prediction. Let's move on to the next one. So in 19th place I'd gone with Hampton and Richmond Borough, who actually finished 8th in the end, so that's 11 places out what I predicted. The reason why I put them that far down is because they had some sort of money problem in the summer, and a lot of players had to go and stuff, and I thought they'd be in a relegation battle, and but they proved everybody wrong. They nearly got into the playoffs. They probably should have done. They were 6 behind Dorking with 2 in hand. So you know, I mean, they could have got in there. You never know. But you know, we didn't do that well against them. Lost 1-0 last minute with 10 men for about 75 minutes or whatever. But you know, Hampton Richmond's good club, and looking forward to playing them again and hopefully collab with Josh Mann again. In 18th place I'd gone with Oxford City, and they finished 13th, so that's 5 out. I thought they'd have a bad season due to the fact that initially they were going to be put in the National League North because we were initially meant to have Slough Town in this league, and then Gateshead got kicked out for National League for some reason. I think it was money problems. which meant Aldershot got a reprieve because they were the highest relegated club, meaning Oxford are back down to the south, and I thought it would mess up their players and mess up the whole season, having to think being one league and then going to the next league. But they did all right. They didn't look that good when we played them, but we drew 4-4 at Longmead and we won 3-0 at Court Place Farm, which is unbelievable, really. But they did all right, mid-table at the end of the day. Now let's move on to the next one. Now this is probably one of the biggest howlers on here. Well, it's not because there was one actually way more ridiculous, but in 17th place I'd gone with Weymouth and they finished 3rd. So that is so way out. And I just thought, because it's newly promoted and they had a good striker that left to go to Southend in the summer, I just thought, well, they'll just, just be alright to stay up. I didn't think they were that good. I didn't really know the squad. They could even still go up. They got Dorking in the playoffs today. But yeah, I mean, I hope they don't go up, because I haven't been to their ground, so I really want to tick their ground off. But yeah, Weymouth 17th, finished 3rd. Let's move on to the next one. In 16th place, I'd gone with Chippenham Town, and they finished 14th. So that's 2 places out, which isn't that bad of a disaster, really. I just thought they'd have a solid mid-table season, and that's what they really did at the end. They did have. They're the team that has really good spell and then a very bad spell, very good spell, then a very bad spell. Like they're a bit like Crystal Palace, really. It's like have win 5 and then lose 5. It's just weird, really. They beat us 2-1 at their ground and we beat them 3-2 at our ground. But yeah, I'm looking forward to playing them again, hopefully. If the season starts soon and fans are allowed back and stuff. But anyway, Chippenham in 16th, not bad of a prediction, I'd say. Right, so this is another howler. In 15th place I went for Slough Town and they finished 5th. And I just thought there are so many big teams in this league and I just didn't think they'd be one of them. They proved everybody wrong again, getting into the playoffs. They unfortunately lost to Dartford in the elimination round last week, but they did an absolutely brilliant job again. I'm sure they'll be up there next season. I'm kind of glad they didn't go up, because at least I can go to their ground again. They've got one of the best bars in the league. Really like their ground. So I'm looking forward to going to their ground next season. I'd gone with St Albans City and they finished 20th, which is 6 places below. And I just thought, because they charge £18 to get in for a National League South game, which is absolutely ridiculous pricing, I just thought fans would boycott and no money would get into the club. It clearly showed on the pitch that there wasn't that many supporters and they didn't do well at all. Yeah, they did terrible. Hopefully they do reduce the prices, but they're a decent team. I've seen the squad seems alright. And I like St Albans as a club. Their ground's quite nice. Went there for a ground top a few years ago, but I'm hopefully go there with Tunbridge next year. But yeah, 14th, not that bad. Quite realistic, but it's quite way off. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. So in 13th place I've gone with Welling United and they finished 12th. So that's a 1 place out, which is not bad at all. I just thought, lost the playoff final last season to Woking, and I just thought they'll just have they just wouldn't be as good. It's such a competitive league, and I think that they would lose a lot of players, and they had a solid mid-table. They were worried at one stage they might go down. We were above them at one point, but they had a good run towards the end and finished solid mid-table. So yeah, not a bad prediction. Let's now move on to 12th. So in 12th place I actually went with Eastbourne Borough and they finished 18th, so that is 6 places below again. So, and I thought the players they have isn't that bad. They got a really good squad. The squad they have shouldn't really be fighting relegation, because after all they'd finished below us, which is unbelievable. It was like first day of the season, or second day I should say, when they beat us 2-0 and we never looked like getting anything, and they beat us in the FA Cup. They look miles better than us, so I'm quite surprised we finished above them. But anyway, you know, they have lost quite a few players, and I'm a bit worried about them next season. Don't know who they've signed, but they've lost about 3 players who've gone to Ebbsfleet. And obviously Christian Campbell left them to go to us this summer, so I'll be looking forward to seeing him play in an Angels shirt. But yeah, not a good season for Eastbourne. Now let's move on to the next position. Right, in 11th place I put Dulwich Hamlet, and they finished 19th, so that is 8 places below. Again, this is a really, I don't think anyone would have seen this coming, then finish above the relegation zone. Their squad at the start of the season looked absolutely lethal, you know, and they beat us. They played us off the park with 10 men on the opening day of the season for about 80 minutes. They had an early red card, and everyone was saying, "Oh, they're going to be really good." Look how that turned out. They finished below us in the end, but. You know, I get to play them again next year, like Champion Hill, so looking forward to seeing them again. Let's move on to the next one. So this one is again another howler. In 10th place I went with Braintree Town, and they finished 21st, so that's another 11 places out. And I thought they'd be 10th because when you get relegated you have a change a new squad, and I didn't think the squad was going to be as bad as it was. They keep changing managers. They've had I think they had 4 managers, and they keep doing it all the time. They keep releasing players, signing players, and they only play a couple games, then they're released, and they keep chopping and changing the squad. And they're the only team that Tunbridge beat twice this season, beaten 5-1 at home and won 1-0 away. But they had a terrible season, and they're lucky the season was voided below, because they might have gone down. They might have been safe because of the Berry situation. We'll never know really. But you know, finishing 21st is absolutely terrible for a team that got relegated from the National League the year before. But oh well, let's now move on to the next one. Now this is the only one I've got right. In 9th place I went for Maidstone United, and they actually finished 9th. So that's again the only one I got right. And the reason why I put them in 9th is because, again, when you get relegated, you pretty much have a new manager, a new squad, and it takes time to gel. And I thought they would be very inconsistent, which they was. And I just thought and with how strong the league is, I just didn't think that they'd be up there, and I was right. You know, and people thought I just put them there just because I'm a Tunbridge fan and stuff, but I seriously didn't think that they would get playoffs, and they didn't. I do think they'll be up there next season. They have made a few good signings, but you know, it's the first one I got right, which, you know, if you get one right, it's good. Let's move on to the next one. Right, in 8th place I went for Wildstone, and they finished 1st, so that's 7 places out. Fair play Wildstone for winning the league. It's a shame. I think Wildstone the only team I didn't see play last season, because I missed the away game, and obviously the home game got called off about 3 times. But you know, Wildstone definitely deserved the title. They were top pretty much all the time since August. Absolutely fantastic. And I wish them all the best in the National League. They're going to do hopefully well. Yeah, I'm sorry that I didn't put you in the playoffs, because I thought the league was going to be a bit too strong for them, but they won it by, well, I don't know about quite a bit. They had a couple games in hand over Havant as well, so fair play Wildstone. Next up is where the playoff place is. Right, so this is probably the most surprising one that is sort of nearly right. In 7th place I went for Dartford, and they finished 6th, which is 1 place above. And a lot of people didn't think they'd get playoffs, and looking at the start, they probably wouldn't have got playoffs with the squad they had. They weren't going. They had a terrible start to the season. They were below us a couple times, and then a new manager came in, Steve King, and he's revitalised the squad. Got to the playoffs, and they might well go up. You never know that. They got Havant and Waterlooville in the playoffs today. Good luck to them. They proved a lot of people wrong, but I honestly don't know why I put them in the playoffs. I thought that was a bit of a weird prediction. I thought it was a bit of a bold one, but you know, they got in there, even finished above what I predicted. So yeah, fair play Dartford. Next we move on to the number 6. So in 6th place I'd gone for Dorking Wanderers, and they finished 7th. So basically they swapped places with Dartford. essentially. And I thought they would do very well. I thought, you know, they won the Bostik Premier last season by miles, 22 points clear over Carshall and Athletic. And I just thought, well, you know, they're going to be up there. They had a good squad, and they could even still go up. They've got Weymouth away today, and then be away to either Hamlet or Dartford in the final if they win. But they've been absolutely brilliant, and I wish them all the best. I think if they don't go up this year, there will be one of the title contenders next season. It depends who misses out on promotion, really. But you know, they've done very well and proved a lot of people wrong. And as I said, I think they might do it. They might do a Maidstone and go up 2 years in a row. But let's see what happens. Let's move on to the next one. This one again is a bit of a bold one. In 5th place, I actually put Hempstead Town, and they finished 11th. So that is 6 places out. And I just thought, because Sammy Moore came in, and he signed a lot of the players that got to Concord into the playoffs, but obviously they got banned. I just thought they'd be up there and they'll do all right. But they finished 11th. They were brilliant at the start of the season. They were 3rd when we played them. But you know, they had quite a bad run, and not even made anywhere near the playoffs. They nearly finished bottom half. But oh well, let's move on to number 4, which is the same sort of howler. In 4th place, I've gone for Chelmsford City, and I just thought that because the last 3 years they get to the playoffs and lose, I just thought it would be another one of those seasons. But it was nowhere near that. They finished 10th, 6 places out. I think they sacked Rod Stringer midway through the season. It wasn't that good at all. But yeah, they might be good next season. No one will know. But yeah, let's move on to the next one. So in 3rd place, I'd gone with Bath City, and they finished 4th. So that is 1 places out. And I think that they had a good season, and that they'll just be another team that just gets in the playoffs and lose, which they did the year before, lost to Dorking in the elimination round, which is quite a surprise, really. But they did all right. Twerton Park's a lovely ground, so I look forward to going there again next season. But yeah, that's just a solid prediction, really. Just 1 out. Not really bad. Let's move on to the biggest howler on this prediction. Right, as I said, this is a howler. In 2nd place, I went for Billericay Town, and they finished 17th. So that's 15 places out. And I think that because at the time Glenn Tamlin was still there, and I thought, well, you know, he's going to spend big and try and be up there, and like he did a couple of years ago, and challenge for the title. He would do all right, and he left, and then they've not been good at all. They've got a really bad defence, letting in easy goals, bottled a 2-goal lead against us in both games. They had an awful season, and again, it's another team. At the start of the season, you would never think that they'd even finish below us, but you know, oh well. That is the most embarrassing prediction on there. Let's now move on to number 1. In number 1, I went for Havant and Waterlooville, and the reason why I put them there is because they had a good manager in Paul Doswell who won it with Sutton. They signed all the Sutton's players pretty much, a lot of few ex-Ebbsfleet players as well. And I thought they would win the league. They have lost a few silly teams throughout. They finished 2nd in the end. They can still go up if they win their playoff games. But yeah, I don't know what Havant fans think if it's a poor or bad season, because I still think if season carried on, they may have won it. But yeah, that's not a bad prediction. Put them top and they finished 2nd. So that's not bad at all. So yeah, that's it for the predictions. So that's it for the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I did alright. Got 1 position bang on correct. A lot of them I had 1-offs and a couple off, and then some absolutely way off, like Billericay and Weymouth are the biggest howlers. But it is a tough league to predict, and maybe do one next season. But obviously I've got to wait until the season sort of nearly starts and everyone has the squads. But then, you know, I can't really do it until that happens. But anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.